Hi, welcome back to another year bolder. My name is Jamie. I'm currently on a weight loss, get fit, get healthy, do better, live life better and healthier journey. I want to have better mobility as well as get in better shape throughout the coming year or two. I'm hoping that I can reach a goal of a healthy, desired weight, healthy, desired fitness within a year or two. That's my goal. I'd like to do it sooner than later, but I'm going to do this slow and steady. This is not a race. It's going to take me some time to get to where I want to get to. With that said, I want to go over, I am on my 6 week. I just ended my 6 weeks so far. I'm now into my 7th week. Sorry, I got a piece of hair in my face. I'm going to give you where my results are as of yesterday for the end of the 6 weeks, and also give you my results of where I first started. So I started August 2nd. My glucose was 141. My weight was 314. My BMI was 62 and my waist was 55 inches. That was on August 2nd. Now, as of September 13th, my glucose is 90, which means I dropped 51 points. My weight is 303, which means I dropped 11 pounds. My BMI is 59, which means I went down 3 points. And my waist is 53.5 inches, so I lost 1.5 inches in my waist. The reason why the 1.5 inches in my waist is a really big deal is because I generally lose in my face and in my chest first, and then I start losing everywhere else pretty much equally. So to see my waist going down a little bit more and more every week, that's awesome. And then of course my glucose, I started at 141 and now it's at 90. The lowest I've ever seen it is like 108, 112. So to be at 90, super ecstatic about that. I do, however, know that that's going to fluctuate and it'll probably go up and down. But my goal is to not let it go as high as the 141 as it was when I first started, or anywhere close to that. And then my weight. My weight. The last 2 weeks I have not lost any weight, and I'm pretty sure I know why, which I'll go over that with you now. If you've been following me, you know that on Monday, I don't remember what day it was. Monday, I think it was the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Yes, Monday the 1st was Labor Day. I had 2 slip and fall accidents back to back. The ground outside was really wet and slippery. I had some horrific shoes on. And I fell, and then I stood up, or a man helped me up, and I fell yet again. So both times I fell, I injured my knees, I injured my hands, I injured my tailbone, I hurt my neck, which hurt my head. So a lot of different things happened during those 2 falls. Well, I had an appointment this Wednesday to have my knees looked at, to have my hands looked at, and also my arm, because I've been having some pain right here that would go all the way up. So in my arm, he did look at it, and it turns out I have tennis elbow, so it gave me some exercises to do for that. And then in my hands, I don't know if you're familiar with trigger thumb, but like when you scroll a lot like that with your phone, or you hold your phone a lot like that, or if you're just doing any movement with your hand repetitively, you can get trigger thumb in all of your, trigger finger in all of your fingers. I happen to have trigger thumb in both of my thumbs. So I had 2 shots on this thumb, and once you have 2 shots, you can't do another. You can't do a third one. You have to go to surgery. But this one has been feeling fine since its 2nd shot. This one right here, when I fell, this trigger thumb, I guess I irritated it. It had only had 1 shot in it. So when that happens, what happens is when you bend it like this, it pops. You can feel it and you can hear it popping, and it's really painful to have anything touch in this area right here. So when I fell, I don't know if it re-injured it, or if just over time since my last shot it got re-injured. But anyway, I had to get another shot right here, and I'll tell you what, I've had 2 shots in this one, 1 shot in this one. This last shot that I had to have right here, I don't know why. It was so painful. I came home, I felt like and it always hurts afterwards, for me anyway. But I came home after I had that shot, I could barely move my hand. It was aching so much. I took some ibuprofen and I just laid down and went to bed. I felt like, I felt like I was burning up with a fever. I just was wanting to cry, basically. I wanted to curl up in a ball and cry. I'd never had it hurt so bad getting a shot here, but that's where I was anyway. My carpal tunnel was just irritated. My wrists are fine. So I have exercises that I do for my carpal tunnel. He just told me to continue on with those exercises. So that's what I'll do there. And then for my knees, I don't know how to, let's see how to explain it. Okay, so like, let's say this is the cartilage in your knees right here, and this is both of my knees. They should be even like this. Well, a little over a year ago, I had an x-ray and they were like lowered. Like this angle was a lot lower than this angle. So this is the left side of my knee. This is the inside on the right of my knee. Same thing on this one. This is the right knee, and this is the inside of the right knee. They were at an angle like that where there's a lot of deterioration right here in this middle part. And I guess it's cartilage. Don't give me, don't come for me if I'm wrong. Whatever it is that's in your knee, and I'm sure it's cartilage and I might be wrong. Anyway, it was starting to deteriorate on the insides of both of my knees. So I had to have 2 injections, one in both of my knees. And then I was in physical therapy for almost a year to try to improve my mobility with my knees, and try to, because I was in a lot of pain like almost every single day. At night it was the worst. It was like excruciating pain at night when I was sleeping. I don't know why, but that's when it seemed to hurt the most. So I did physical therapy. I just ended it, I want to say around February or March is when I ended it. And then I had to do physical therapy, continue it at home, but I no longer had to go see anybody. And my knees have been feeling great. They've been doing really good. Was barely having any issues with them. There's an exercise, or a particular exercise they gave me from when I first get up, because that seems to be when it would hurt me or bother me the most after the physical therapy. And that would work well until I fell. When I fell, that kind of was a game changer. Once I fell on Labor Day, both of my knees, matter of fact, my right knee was the one that's always bothered me, or bothered me the most. Well, my left knee started bothering me the most. Except at night when I would sleep, it was my right knee that would ache, but during the day, it was my left knee that would ache. So I was concerned that I caused more damage, or there was more deterioration because of the fall, or just, maybe there was just more deterioration in general. Because one of the things we spoke about when I first started the physical therapy is that he wanted me to get my weight down. And it's taken me this long to work on my weight. He said, as soon as I can get my weight down, it'll take a lot of pressure off my knees, and they won't be so, losing their cartilage, or their filling. So losing weight is not only important just for my overall health, but it's important for my back, because I have a back injury that I've spoken about multiple times if you've been following me. But it's also very important for my knees to avoid knee replacement surgery. And that is the ultimate goal. I do not want knee replacement surgery. So anyway, he did the x-ray. Everything came back fine. They have not deteriorated any further, which is amazing. I don't currently need to have more gel injected, or more whatever that stuff is injected in my knees. He did, however, say that he wants me to do light, brief walking. And he also wants me to give it a few weeks, see how my knees are doing after a few weeks. And if they're still in a lot of pain, to go back and we'll reassess and see if I need the injections again. However, I had to finish the physical therapy in order for my insurance to cover the injections, which I did, so I'm good there. But already, that appointment was Wednesday. It's now Sunday. My knees are feeling so much better. So just over time, they're feeling better. And then what he meant by light, brief walking is not to walk really long periods of time. Walk on as level of a ground as possible. No inclines. Try to stay out of gravel or sand. Anything that's gonna put me like at Dad. Instead, he wants me to just walk, not like all over the place. And it's kind of hard over here because there's a lot of sand and gravel road. But I'll walk on the sidewalks, or I'll walk inside where there's a treadmill, or just walk inside our building where I know the ground is even. So that's what he means by light, brief walking. He doesn't want me to overextend my knees too much. He doesn't want me to do any bending, no lunges, no what are they called? Burpees, no squats, things like that. So he wants me to stay away from those, which I already had to stay away from those previously from the recommendation he gave me. So with that said, I'm going to move forward with his suggestions, with my weight loss coach suggestions. I went over everything with him when I spoke with him Saturday, because he wanted me to stop walking until I saw my doctor to make sure that my knees, in fact, were okay before we pursued anything further. And then with my consult with him yesterday, I went ahead and gave him all the information that my doctor gave me about my knees. So he's ecstatic. So he told me, as well as my doctor, he said, okay, your doctor said to take it brief and light. So you're going to just start over again. I'll do 5 minutes a day, 3 to 5 days a week, and I'll work up to 10, then I'll work up to 15 minutes, and then I'll work up to 20. And that might not sound like a lot to you, but for me it is, especially with the injuries to my knees and to my back, and I do have injuries to my ankles as well. All of this initially happened during 2 car accidents I had. One was a drunk driver had hit me, and then another guy had ran a red light. They were a few years apart, but both incidents damaged both of my ankles, both of my knees, and my back. So those 2 car accidents kind of just escalated the pain and the areas that I'm having issues with. So what I'm going to do is I'll pick it back up. I'll continue my walking. I'll start back at the 2 or 3 days a week, not overexerting anything, because I don't want to re-injure anything. I don't want to go too fast. And then my weight loss coach and we talked about starting some resistance training, so I'm going to start that as well. But I want to speak on behalf of not losing any weight the last 2 weeks. I want to talk about what I feel like happened, actually kind of what I know happened. This past week has been very emotional. There's been a lot that's been going on just in the world in general. I'm sure you've heard about everything. So everything's been kind of emotional for me because I'm an emotional person. I feel for others when they're hurting. I feel for others when they're happy. It's just something that I do. So with that said, I ate more fast carbs than what I should have. So what this is I eat a diet-free life. I follow the ICORA program. I'm not sure if I said that. Follow the ICORA program with diet-free life. It's for premenopausal, menopausal, perimenopausal women, where it'll help you lose weight while all your hormones are making these different changes. Well, last week I was on my menstrual cycle. I want to say it started like on Tuesday. It didn't end until Saturday night, which was after I weighed myself. I have endometriosis, which usually causes a lot of pain, and it makes me bloat really bad. So that could be one reason. Another reason is I can tell you when I'm on my period, I crave certain foods. And if I don't eat those certain foods, I tend to get irritated. That could just be a mental thing. I don't know. But I really wanted fast carbs. And for my program, I'm supposed to have, for breakfast and lunch, I'm supposed to have 1 protein, 1 slow carb, and either a half a fast carb or a full fast carb. And what that means is it's a serving. So 1 serving of protein, 1 serving of slow carb, 1 serving of a fast carb, or a half a serving. And it's just portion control. That's all it is. I had more than a half a serving of fast carb, and I had probably more than 1 serving of fast carb on multiple meals throughout the week. Usually I'm allowed 1 meal where I can have 2 fast carbs, but I did that multiple times last week just because that's what I was craving with my period. But I didn't crave that the period before. So I didn't do what I knew I should have done, and I gave in. And instead of having 1 slice of pizza and some slow carbs, I had 2 slices of pizza and no slow carbs, which kind of hindered me. So I know that my eating was definitely played a part in it. I drink sodas. I've been talking about trying to get off of sodas. I can tell you last week I had more sodas than what I should have. Usually I try to have 1 little mini Dr. Pepper a day and no more, and then drink nothing but water. But I can tell you that there was several days where I had probably 2 sodas a day, and like 1 big soda and 1 mini soda. That is on me, 100% on me. I shouldn't have done it, but I did what I did, and it is what it is, even though I hate that saying. So moving forward this week, I'm already doing better. I'm back to my mini soda and drinking all the rest water, because that's where I'm most comfortable. And honestly, I get less headaches and less gut issues as long as I don't have as much soda with caffeine in it. If you're not familiar with the Diet for Life program, what it is you're going to eat fat burning meals versus fat storing meals. A fat burning meal is made up in a couple of different ways. These are all portion control when I say this. So a fat burning meal is a protein, a slow carb, and a fast carb, or a protein and 2 slow carbs, or a protein and just 1 fast carb. For me, because I am premenopausal, perimenopausal, whatever, I'm doing usually a half a fast carb to 1 fast carb on breakfast and lunch only. But I'm trying to keep it at a half a fast carb. Sometimes I'm not successful with that. But I do not have any fast carbs at all with my dinner. For dinner, it's protein and 2 slow carbs. And then if you want to know what a fat storing meal is versus a fat burning meal, fat storing is if you have a portion control of a protein and you have two fast carbs, that's fat storing. If you have a protein and nothing else, that's also fat storing. Or if you have a protein with two or more fast carbs, that is fat storing. And if you're not familiar with fast carbs versus slow carbs, you can look it up on Google, it'll tell you. But basically, fast carbs are things like pastas, breads, potatoes, chips, macaroni and cheese, anything like that is a fast carb. And then slow carbs are things like lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, things like that. And watermelon and oranges and apples, they're all fast carbs as well. So that's what I mean when slow carb and fast carb. You can look it up and Google and it'll generally tell you, but there is a chart that I go by with Diet Free Life that tells me what is a fast carb versus what is a slow carb, so I don't have to guess. And I pretty much already know. I also know from doing this program in the past and being very successful with it, what my portion sizes are, so I don't have to weigh it or look at it or measure it. I already know that this is a portion size for me. We did talk about mixing my meals. Like, I'm a person who prefers, like, I'll have a pork chop, some green beans, and like maybe some toast, or I'll have some chicken breast with a salad. I don't tend to mix my meals, like mix my foods a lot, except for like when I have the shrimp sheet pan meal or the chicken sheet pan meal, or if I'm having spaghetti. But we did talk about that, and he was like, are you familiar on what the portion control size is for that? And I said, no, not really. That was something I wasn't sure of. Because I am a picky eater and I don't like my foods mixed that often. I have to really want that meal to mix it. I wasn't sure. So he said, like if you're having taco soup, which has ground beef in it, it's got corn in it, it's got rotel tomatoes in it, you can put, sorry, my phone cut off. So I was talking about a taco soup, like with the ground meat, the corn, the Fritos, the cheese, the rotel tomatoes, that's all a combined meal. So he said 2 fist sizes is a portion. So, and I have small hands. It's probably hard to tell, but I have small hands. So 2 fist sizes is a portion for that. Anyway, I'm going to do better this week. If you want to see what I ate last week, I'll go ahead and have it posted at the end. I just want to thank you for watching. If you like this channel, please go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, click that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we go live. And just thank you so much for following along on this journey. If you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Just post them in the comments and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. And if you want to know more information or see more information, let me know. I'll be happy to share anything with you that you like. And thanks for watching again.
As I was putting my meals together that I ate this week, I did notice that I skipped some meals and I also skipped some snacks. In order for me to lose weight, I do need to eat all three of my meals with the portion control, with the fast and slow carbs as my weight loss uh, coach instructed, and I need to have my snacks. He did say skipping one every now and then was okay, but I can definitely see that I skipped too many. I did also add too many fast carbs because I can see it in other pictures as they go by. So the week before, I skipped way too many meals and snacks. This week, I skipped too many meals and also skipped at least one snack, which, I skipped too many. And then I had my menstrual cycle, and I also had it where I ate too many fast carbs during the day, where I should just keep it to a half a fast carb to one fast carb only on breakfast and lunch. I really hope this helped you. If you have any questions, please definitely let me know. Reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can.